If the people see the Capitol going on, it is a sign we intend the Union shall go on.
This is not a moment of division, it's a moment of unification.
This is America's day. I will be a president for all Americans, all Americans. And I pledge this to you. I will be a president for all Americans, all Americans. And I promise you, I will fight as hard for those who did not support me as for those who did.
President Joe Biden calls for unifying Americans and promises to be a president for the people as he is sworn in as the 46th president of the United States, and Kamala Harris becomes the first female vice president in U.S. history.
Right now, Inauguration Day events are still taking place at the U.S. Capitol. Here's a live look at the Senate floor. About an hour ago, Vice President Kamala Harris swore in 3 Democratic senators who flipped control of the Senate. Later tonight, the President, First Lady, Vice President, and Second Gentleman will attend the Celebrating America inaugural program. President Biden and Vice President Harris will speak at that ceremony.
And right after being sworn in, President Biden tweeted from the POTUS Twitter account that there's no time to waste when it comes to tackling the crises we face. That's why today, quote, I am heading to the Oval Office to get right to work, delivering bold action and immediate relief for American families. Less than an hour ago, President Biden signed his first executive order targeting Trump policies on immigration, climate change, racial equity, and the coronavirus.
Biden is calling on several federal departments and agencies, asking them to take steps to extend the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's federal moratorium on eviction for non-payment of rent until at least the end of March. Biden is also asking Congress to approve a COVID relief bill that would provide $35 billion in rent, utilities, and homelessness relief. Officials say President Biden is set to introduce a comprehensive immigration reform bill. He also signed an order re-entering the United States into the Paris Climate Accord.
And we have team coverage of President Biden and Vice President Harris's Inauguration Day.
Our political reporter Amy Reed is talking with Wisconsin lawmakers about the Biden-Harris transition, and our Gabriella Becerra is at the state capitol with how law enforcement are preparing to keep the Capitol safe. Let's begin tonight with Amy, who has more on how Wisconsin's politicians in Washington are reacting to Biden's message. Amy?
Well, this message of unity is getting a lot of support from politicians in his own party. Congressman Ron Kind released a statement saying it's time to set aside the bitter partisanship and join together to tackle the unprecedented challenges facing all Americans, starting with the need to implement a national coordinated plan to defeat COVID-19. Republican Senator Ron Johnson tweeted his well wishes, also encouraging Biden to follow through on his pledge to be a president for all Americans and act to unify our divided nation. I spoke with Representative Mark Pocan, who said this change in leadership, especially this message, could bring good things. He said he never saw it under Trump.
He never wanted to bring people together to get something done. And I think just getting back to that is a good thing. I mean, absolutely. And, you know, hopefully it's an example for state legislatures, for local units of government as well.
He sees it almost as a return to normalcy, at least as political norms go, and he's hopeful that's how his colleagues on the Republican side receive it too. He said many seemed scared of getting blowback from Trump, especially on Twitter, but now he thinks it could be different.
Amy Reed reporting. Amy, thank you. Today's historic inauguration was also a special national security event contending with both the pandemic and also the possibility of protests. With boarded up businesses, guarded checkpoints, and armed forces, this inauguration day looks very different than it has in the past. The heavy security presence included 25,000 National Guard members. The mayor of Washington, D.C. has repeatedly asked people to stay away, and it has worked.
What does it feel like to be out here today?
It feels like a war zone. I mean, you see this only in movies, it seems.
Police in Washington, D.C. reported no arrests as of this afternoon.
Here in Madison, police are maintaining security around the state capitol with boarded up windows, barricades, and a stronger police presence over the past several days.
Gabriella Becerra live there now and explains how much longer we can expect that to last. Gabby?
Well, today, like the past several days, was quiet. None of the planned armed protests that we were warned about happened here in Madison. So what happens now to those visible precautions? The Department of Administration tells us they can't say how much longer the barricades and fencing will be up at the Capitol because they don't comment on safety precautions. On the other hand, Madison Police Chief Vic Wall did say it's likely they'll continue to have increased staffing and visibility for at least the coming days.
We'll continue to have some of those things in place on a smaller scale and just to continue to monitor information and what we're seeing every day. And
Wall says he considers it a good thing that the past few days here were uneventful, and there was not a request for the Wisconsin National Guard here at the Wisconsin State Capitol today.
Gabby, thank you. Today was all about celebrating the peaceful transfer of power, as it should be, but UW political science professor Ken Mayer told our Mark Kane on News 3 Now at noon today, President Biden has a rough road ahead of him.
This is not a magic incantation where a president says we're going to be united and it will be so. It's going to take a lot of work, and there are going to be, I think, some real headwinds with congressional opposition and public impatience.
Professor Mayer says Biden's first order of business is getting COVID vaccines distributed more quickly and reuniting the country.
President Trump departed Washington this morning as the nation turns the page on his presidency. President Trump took his last ride on Air Force One after departing the White House on Marine One. At Joint Base Andrews, he gave a farewell speech to a crowd before leaving for Florida without mentioning President-elect Joe Biden by name. President Trump gave his best wishes before leaving.
I wish the new administration great luck and great success. I think they'll have great success. Just a goodbye. We love you. We will be back in some form.
Trump is the first president to skip his successor's inauguration since 1869.
The WhiteHouse.gov website has been updated to reflect the new President of the United States, Joe Biden, and it now includes Spanish translations of the White House's communications. La Casa Blanca's Spanish language communications went dark in 2017 when Trump took office. Presidents Barack Obama and George W. Bush both maintained a Spanish version of the White House website. We are continuing to provide you coverage of the Biden and Harris inauguration. Coming up tonight, there will be the first press briefing by the new press secretary. Along with that, the president, first lady, vice president, and second gentleman will attend the Celebrating America inaugural program, where they will speak, and we'll have more in our later newscasts and always online at channel3000.com.
A sunny and seasonable winter day, but colder by the end of the week. Let's check your first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Eric, we've had sunshine today, but notice this bank of clouds to our north and west. It'll kind of swing on through this evening, and then it'll be followed by a little bit of clearing overnight. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam shows a little bit of hazy sunshine still trying to hang on, or at least generally clear skies to the south and east. To the north and west, that bank of clouds doesn't have any snow associated with it. The nearest snow is up in northern Minnesota, so we should stay dry for a couple of days. Low temperatures last night dropped to 5 in Madison. A few places dropped below 0 or 2-0. Platteville 0, Lone Rock at 1 below 0 last night. But current temperatures are in the mid-20s in Madison, low 20s to the east, but already in the middle 30s to the west. And that's because winds are picking up out of the southwest and a warm front is coming through. Notice these winds gusting to almost 30 miles per hour. So while temperatures are in the 20s, it feels like 14 in Madison thanks to those brisk winds. By tomorrow morning, temperatures will drop into the upper 20s after rising to the lower 30s just before midnight. Then look for skies that turn cloudy tomorrow afternoon with a high of 33. We'll look for colder weather for Friday and Saturday, and then some accumulating snow by the second half of the weekend. I'll have more details on weather in a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. The Greene County teen accused of killing his newborn daughter is asking for his case to be moved to juvenile court. 16-year-old Logan Kruckenberg Anderson is charged with first-degree intentional homicide and hiding a corpse in adult court. Court documents say he admitted to taking the newborn infant to a wooded area just days after she was born and shooting her in the head. Today in court, the defense says they want to move the case to juvenile court due to Kruckenberg Anderson's age. He is expected to be back in court next month.
Preliminary data shows that 10,000 Wisconsinites were vaccinated yesterday. DHS data shows nearly 250,000 doses of a COVID vaccine have been administered. Nearly 780,000 doses of the vaccine has been allocated to Wisconsin. The chairman of the Wisconsin Assembly Health Committee is proposing that a COVID vaccine be available to the general public by mid-March rather than June, as health officials estimate. Representative Joe Sanfilippo outlined the highlights of his bill today during a public hearing. Those include allowing individual vaccinators who have finished phase 1 of eligible individuals to move to the next, and requiring DHS to present a plan to the legislature for how they plan to roll out the vaccine to the entire state. The deadline that he's setting is next week, Thursday. The bill is unlikely to become law. It has to pass the Senate and the Assembly and be signed by the governor.
Grocery store employees are closer to being next in line for COVID shots tonight. This morning, a state committee recommended adding those workers to phase 1B. The committee recommended that grocery, food production, hunger relief, and agriculture workers be put into phase 1B of the plan. Those plans will be submitted to DHS. They're expected to be decided by the end of the week.
Employees at a county-run nursing home are fighting back against a policy that requires them to get a COVID vaccine.
Several employees have already been laid off for saying no. Adam Duxter shares what they, along with members of the Rock County Board, are doing to try to prevent more from leaving.
Employees at Rockhaven say they first learned they would be mandated to get the vaccine shortly before Christmas. Since then, we've told several have quit and more plan to unless that rule changes.
At a county board meeting last week, nearly 30 employees spoke before the county board, saying they don't agree with the vaccine requirement. One staff member says more than 10 people have already left and 10 more plan to leave in the coming weeks. While Wisconsin's DHS says any job can require employees to get vaccinations, those at Rockhaven say they want the choice.
The quality of care, I'm afraid, might suffer if all these staff leave. People are going to be burnt out with mandation. Let us wear our PPE and get our temperatures taken and just take care of the residents without being forced to do something.
Other county-run nursing homes and even local hospital systems are not requiring staff to get the vaccination while it's still in emergency use authorization.
And that issue is set to be discussed yet again at a county board meeting on January 28th. And that's when several county board members tell me they'd like to see that mandate lifted and be replaced with the option for employees to get the vaccination if they want to. In Rock County, Adam Duxter, News 3 Now.
53 new COVID-related deaths were confirmed today. State and county health officials recorded 1,504 new cases of the virus. The state has reached a lifetime total of 526,259 confirmed cases, and roughly 24,000 of those remain active.
More to come on News 3 Now at 5. Up next, our inauguration coverage continues as the youngest inaugural poet in U.S. history recites her own poem. And coming up tonight at 6, large gatherings are currently restricted in Dane County, but a group is trying again to change that. We'll have more details next hour. And the best inauguration day on Wall Street since 1984. The Dow up 258 points. The Nasdaq jumping 260. The S&P adds 53. We'll be right back.
$6 million worth of top brand home furnishings must be sold at Ashley Home Store. All furniture is up to 50% off store-wide. Plus, take a bonus 10% off our sale prices at checkout and interest-free financing for up to 3 years. Stretch your stimulus check further at Ashley Home Store.
Hi, folks. Joe Namath here, and if you're on Medicare, this is important. You're now entitled to eliminate copays and get dental care, dentures, eyeglasses, prescription coverage, in-home aids, unlimited transportation, and home-delivered meals, all at no additional cost. Plus, your zip code may have coverage with the Give Back benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every month.
I called to get dental, transportation, meals, and the Give Back benefit.
With this virus situation, I called to get everything I'm entitled to. I couldn't believe I was missing out on so many benefits.
With the uncertainty of the virus, you need to get everything you're entitled to. Millions of people have trusted the Medicare Coverage Helpline. You can too. Call now. It's free.
Call 1-800-681-4397. That's 1-800-681-4397 now.
Fusion has it all. Modern styling,
Spacious interior, plenty of power. Even help to inspire confidence. Ford Copilot 360. NHTSA 5-star overall crash rating. 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. So while life is full of compromises, Fusion isn't one of them. Choose Ford Credit Flex Buy in 2020 Fusion with 0% APR for 66 months with an increase in monthly payments after the first 36 months plus $3,500 cash back.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
$6 million worth of furniture and mattresses must be sold at Ashley Home Store. Save up to 65% off doorbuster mattresses like these. Plus, pay as little as $25 per month, interest-free for up to 6 years on luxury sleep systems. Stretch your stimulus check further at Ashley Home Store.
1 year of the coronavirus in the U.S. Thursday morning, we'll put the numbers into perspective.
Plus, we'll show Wisconsin's top vacation spot on Airbnb. We'll see you starting at 4:30 on News 3 Now this morning.
Accurate news as it happens, right here where you live. Information that you can use from the team you can trust. For more local stories that impact your life, News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
The nation's first ever youth poet laureate called for unity as she spoke at President Biden's inauguration today. 22-year-old Amanda Gorman read her poem entitled "The Hill We Climb."
When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. In the norms and notions of what just is, isn't always just is.
Gorman started writing poems when she was a child, but found it terrifying to perform due to a speech impediment. She says she overcame that fear by drawing confidence from Martin Luther King Jr. and former President Barack Obama.
Bernie Sanders' mittens are creating a buzz on social media. The Vermont senator wore them to President Biden's inauguration today, and they immediately caught the eye of many. Twitter went wild with the look, saying Sanders looked like he was a grandpa headed to the post office. BuzzFeed News says the mittens were made by a Vermont teacher, Jen Ellis. She gave them to him more than 2 years ago, and he began wearing them on the campaign trail. The mittens are made from repurposed wool sweaters and lined with fleece made from recycled plastic bottles.
American Family Insurance rose to the challenge of helping preserve the artwork along State Street. In a new book called Let's Talk About It, they feature all of the murals and artwork created by local artists after last summer's Black Lives Matter protests.
We're hoping that this book is a catalyst to bring all stakeholders together to have the conversations on how we can come together as a community. How do we start to heal the wounds, and how do we start to have discussions around a topic that means so much to so many people in so many different ways.
Tonight at 6, our Jamie Perez spoke with some of the artists and photographers who helped make this book happen. We'll hear from them, plus tell you how you can get a copy of the book tonight at 6.
Let's get a look at your first warn weather. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolti joining us. Gary?
Well, Eric, it was a kind of a windy day today. The winds have been picking up out of the south and southwest. 3 things you need to know with those breezy conditions continuing. That will keep us a little bit warmer tonight. In fact, temperatures will probably rise in the lower 30s just before midnight and only drop into the upper 20s by morning. After a quiet day for tomorrow with a little more wind as well, it'll turn cold for Friday and Saturday. Daytime high temperatures will be in the upper teens. Nighttime low temperatures around 10 Friday morning and around 0 Saturday morning with wind chills perhaps as cold as 10 below 0. And we are looking for accumulating snow from Saturday night into Sunday and possibly Monday as well. Right now, most of the upper Midwest covered by snow, but notice at the edge of the map here, not much snow across parts of the eastern or western Dakotas into much of Nebraska, then down to the south across central Illinois. Last night, the winds were light, so over that snow cover, temperatures were in the single digits, above and below zero. Even areas north and west of Madison saw some temperatures below zero. But notice the winds now out of the south and southwest, right off of that bare ground. So even though it's moving over the snow cover, it starts out mild initially. So temperatures are in the 20s here, but as that milder west and southwesterly wind starts to move in, notice the temperatures already in the 30s to our west and 40s over parts of western Iowa. Compared to 24 hours ago, that's a big jump in temperatures, 30 to 35 degrees. You seldom see that happen from one day to the next, but this time of year that can happen. And that's because the upper air pattern is starting to change. Notice the jet streams, the polar jet stream, subtropical jet stream coming together and forming one bigger jet stream in the eastern part of the country. What that does is it causes the air to sink when jet streams come together because it has to go down, so the air kind of piles up, and that's what's causing the winds with the jet stream right overhead. But notice by Friday, a little chunk of colder air moves in, but it just kind of gives us a glancing blow and then heads off to the east. As we head into the early part of next week, notice the upper level winds becoming a little more southwesterly and more of a contrast. We've got warmer weather to our south, colder weather to our north and west, but the jet stream's still coming together here. So depending on whether or not we're under this part of the jet stream where the air is being lifted or this part of the jet stream where the air is sinking in high pressure forms, that will determine whether or not we see a bigger snowstorm as we head from late Saturday into Sunday. And then as we head into the latter part of next week, notice the west turning mild again, the east turns cold, and we're kind of right in between. As we look at weather track right now, the air kind of sinking, drying out over here, a little band of clouds to our north and west, and then a little bit of clearing behind it. There's actually a weak cold front to our north and west. Temperatures even behind the front are still in the upper 30s to around 40, but on future track, notice the skies clearing out later tonight, and then tomorrow a little band of clouds coming through, maybe a few flurries tomorrow night, and then that's followed by colder weather as we head into Friday and Saturday. So look for a high temperature tomorrow of 33, partly sunny skies in the morning, more clouds in the afternoon. 7 to 10 day forecast, we drop into the upper teens for highs with nighttime low temperatures between 0 and 10 degrees in the morning, and then that warm up as we head into the latter part of the weekend with accumulating snow Friday night or Saturday night into Sunday, possibly Monday as well, and then another system toward the middle of next week, probably weaker, but could also bring some minor snow accumulations. As we take a look at first warn traffic right now, things pretty good on the roads. Not seeing any problems on the Beltline, I-39, 90, 94 on the east side of Madison. Looks like a breakdown right at East Washington Avenue and I-39, 90, 94, and a few slowdowns through the Isthmus on East Washington Avenue. Otherwise, travel either direction on the Beltline, about a 15-minute trip between University Avenue and the interstate heading out of Madison. It'll take you 26 minutes from the Beltline southward to Janesville. If you're going to Sauk City on US 12, it'll take you 16 minutes from Middleton, and downtown to Sun Prairie is an 18-minute trip on East Washington Avenue and US 151. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
All right, Gary, thanks. Just ahead at 5 is a big one. It's just a few days away now at Lambeau Field. Aaron Rodgers starts his awards haul. That's next at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
This is the big one, folks. The Brothers Maine Everything's on Sale. Get huge clearance prices on every brand in the store with 0% financing for up to 18 months. Only Maine delivers more satisfaction every day, like a risk-free 30-day price satisfaction guarantee, giving you 100% confidence in your purchase. How's that for more? The Everything's on Sale with more selection, more savings, and more happy homes on everything. Now at the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
My body is truly powerful.
I have the power to lower my A1C.
Because my body can still make its own insulin.
And Trulicity activates my body to release it, lowering my blood sugar from the first dose. Once weekly Trulicity responds when my body needs it 24/7. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It's not insulin.
It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include indigestion, fatigue, belly pain, decreased appetite, nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems.
I have it within me to lower my A1C.
Ask your doctor about Trulicity.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
Habitat for Humanity of Dane County continues to help hardworking families attain homeownership. By providing financial coaching, homeowners can manage their mortgage and other finances while building stability for their family. Strengthen our community. Support Habitat Dane County.
Still hard to find a spot, just easier to park. Still the big move, just more moving. Still singing, just more in tune. Still the gang's all here, just less are we there yet. The Chevy family of SUVs, making life's journey just better.
Get over $3,700 cash allowance on most 2021 Equinox models. Plus, current Chevy owners with an eligible GM credit card get an additional $1,750 total allowance. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Love lower than low prices? Then get more ways to save at Pick and Save, where you can find personalized coupons, weekly deals, and rewards like fuel points. All for prices that are lower than low. On food that's fresher than fresh. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
The NFL MVP favorite is receiving another award. The Pro Football Writers of America choosing Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers as its most valuable player in the NFL for 2020. Rodgers completed over 70% of his passes, 4,300 yards, 48 touchdowns this season. He won the award in 2011 and 2014. Now, the Associated Press is considered the NFL's official MVP award, and that'll be announced tonight before the Super Bowl in early February. And tickets for the NFC Championship game between the Packers and Buccaneers, no surprise, they are officially sold out. The team made 6,500 tickets available to season ticket holders earlier in the day, but they sold out quickly. The Packers again offered socially distanced pods of 2, 4, or 6 tickets throughout Lambeau Field for the NFC Championship game this Sunday, the first held in Green Bay since back in 2007. The Packers will take on Tampa Bay this Sunday. Kickoff is set for 2:05.
As the Badger volleyball team gets set to take the court this week, 3 of their own are receiving preseason honors. Wisconsin setter Sydney Hilly, middle hitter Dana Retke, and outside hitter Molly Haggerty have been named to the preseason All-Big Ten team. The trio of seniors led the Badgers to the national championship game last season, where they fell in the finals to Stanford. The Badgers will take on Purdue Friday at 5:30 at the Fieldhouse. The game will air on the Big Ten Network.
And stay with us for a final check of your first warn forecast in just a moment.
Get your home improvement projects done with help from Menards. Timber Ridge Click Vinyl Plank Flooring by Shaw has an attached pad and is a snap to install. It's waterproof, pet-proof, and kid-proof. $229 a square foot. Give your walls a new look with Zinsser Smart Coat. It's an advanced paint and primer in one with ultra-smooth coverage, superior adhesion, and exceptional washability. Interior flat is $25.98 a gallon. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Oh, baby, I have sinned. Baby, this is my last confession. You know I've never been no good. But when I'm with you, it feels like heaven. I'm begging for mercy, baby. Yeah.
So, what do you think?
I love it.
At American Family Insurance, we've always protected more than what you drive. We've protected and supported the dreams that drive you. Right now, that means extending our 10% savings on auto premium for all current and new auto customers through March, so you can get a little closer to your dream. Whether your dream is discovering new roads and new limits, or supporting that dream. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
At U.S. Cellular, we're building a powerful 5G network that works without interruption in the places you wouldn't expect. And with every plan at U.S. Cellular, you get access to 5G at no additional charge. So no matter where you are, U.S. Cellular's network always keeps you connected in the places you need it most. At U.S. Cellular, all of our plans include 5G and get unlimited data for just $30 a month with 4 lines. U.S. Cellular.
Dear Winter, I'm coming. My squad of 15 vehicles with all-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of my game, so you better bundle up. Toyota.
Get 0.9% APR for 60 months on a new 2021 RAV4 or lease a new 2021 Highlander Hybrid for $319 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, history is made. Joe Biden is sworn in as the 46th president of the United States and delivers a message of hope to a reeling nation. Plus, Kamala Harris breaks through the glass ceiling as she becomes the highest-ranking woman in American history. Her inspiring story tonight. And from Gaga to Garth, sights and sounds of an inauguration unlike any other. That's all tonight here on the CBS Evening News.
Let's head to Gary now. He's got a final look at the forecast.
Well, right now, there's the live view from the WISC Skycam looking off toward the east. Mainly clear skies, but there are some clouds coming in from the north and west, but that's also with warmer weather. 25 right now in Madison, but 37 in La Crosse as winds continue out of the southwest, still gusting to 25 to 30 miles per hour. We had a gust last hour to 38 miles an hour here in Madison. Those winds are out of the southwest. Wind chills right now in the teens from Madison eastward to the west. They're not quite as cold. Look for temperatures to rise to the lower 30s by around midnight, then fall to the upper 20s by tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's high at 33 degrees. Look for colder weather Friday and Saturday, and then snow by the weekend.
All right, Gary, thank you. Thanks for joining us. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. CBS Evening News coming your way next.